What's going on, guys? KayGee here from the football capital, and we're here again, another A-League review. Boys, joined by Josh from the Sunday Ballers and of course, Borce from the football capital. I just want to, start the show by saying I don't think anybody really wants to take anything out of this season with Melbourne City dropping, a great opportunity to extend the lead. We've got a number of teams outside of the six who had opportunities to take points, and just even the teams just in that little, middle there. There was so much, and we spoke about this last week, yo-yoing, and I just couldn't predict some of the stuff that happened this weekend. But I don't know, how do you boys feel about all the results that have come about over the last 6 matches?
I was hoping we were going to skip this week. I was really hoping we'll skip this week. Raining goals, I mean, if someone wants to say that the A-League is boring, I mean, we had a lot of entertainment this week. And like we said last week, it's very unpredictable how the league is going, because midweek we'll touch on them. Mariners had a massive win. Come the weekend, and it's maybe they should have called it off and had a no result. You know what I mean? With all the floods and all that, and they got hammered there. And just raining goals this week, not just the weather, but it was actually raining goals. And a few howlers, and we'll get onto that. I'm sure you boys have something to say. A few howlers, a bit of deja vu as well. But we'll get onto that. But otherwise, besides my team getting slapped up, do you know what I mean? I thought this week was a pretty entertaining week.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's almost frustrating how inconsistent everyone is being across the board. But as you say, you look for a silver lining. It makes for a very exciting, especially end to the season as we come into it. And like Borce said, raining goals this week. I think 33 goals in 9 games, which is, above 3 goals per game. As you said, people that want to chat about A-League being boring, pull your heads in.
Yeah, and look, some of those were, 5-0, 4-0, 3-0. They were like, almost one-sided games for the best part of it, or where a team totally dominated. And it was unbelievable to see. Like, just to touch on a couple of those midweek ones that Borge spoke about, like Central Coast over Wellington, 5-0, right? And in previous weeks, we've spoken about Wellington around them having games in hand and what that will do to their run into the finals. Then you get Melbourne City midweek, 4-0 against Sydney FC. And then you get Melbourne Victory, who, steady path, got the 1-0 victory over Perth Glory. Come the weekend, Central Coast Mariners and Wellington Phoenix had way different fortunes, and essentially made up the difference. If we want, we'll start with Western United versus Wellington Phoenix, because I thought this was a big opportunity for Western United to take another step towards chasing City, because they've got games in hand. But massive result for Wellington, who got slapped up during the week and then come around. And I don't know, Soterio I don't know what he's become over there. He's their leading goal scorer at Wellington Phoenix, go figure, with I think 6 or 7 goals. But horrible at Western City Wanderers, and then ends up putting in a display where he scores 2 goals. And his first one was cracker with the ball on the run, and he put it in the back of the net like swiftly. Wellington get the points.
Yeah, I told you, man, the stats didn't lie. It was right. Western United only beat them in the first game they ever met a couple of years ago when they first came into the league, and they haven't won since. And it's just funny how it just turns out like history just keeps repeating itself with that fixture. I didn't expect it, especially with, like we spoke about last week, with Western United chasing City for the minor premiership. I thought this was their chance to take. And look, besides the scoreline, like, if it was just a weird one to see, just the goals keep coming in, and it didn't look like Western United were ever going to come back into this game. And we spoke about how good their defense has been, and they just leaked all these goals in this fixture. It's just, I don't know, man. It was a weird one all weekend. I just couldn't wrap my head around it. I don't know, maybe is that the normal ground that they play at? Or the Western United play at? Was it another ground?
It looked a little different.
It looked like
when I watched it.
I think they were still in Ballarat.
Was it?
I think maybe not Ballarat, but it was another rural ground.
Yeah, do you know when there's
I know it wasn't.
when there's hills at a football stadium, you know what I mean? Like,
But you know what? I don't mind that, man.
The hill?
Because both teams don't really. Well, just the suburban ground, right? Because these two teams don't generally pull massive crowds. So having it at a suburban ground, getting the families on the hill, if that's the case, so be it. But I just thought it wasn't too bad, and the pitch was immaculate, man.
Yeah,
like I thought it was really nice.
probably no teams out there, bro. No one's playing.
Possibly, but Josh, I just wanted to get your opinion on something, because last week what we did, we spoke on a show about some goalkeepers, right? And we made a comment where we were talking about Birigidi and Jamie Young being two of the best keepers in the league. But man, Ollie Sale absolutely killed it against Western United on the weekend, and he not that he saved them, but there was crucial saves at crucial points where Western United could have got back into the game, and he did a really good job.
Yeah, 100%. I think you've got a little bit of a football capital curse surrounding Jamie Young and Birigidi in that respect. But yeah, Ollie Sale, he's been killing it for a number of seasons now. Let's not lie to ourselves. He's been great for a while for Wellington. What was it? A couple of weeks back, he faced 36 shots, albeit 11 on target, but still to make 11 saves in a match. I think it was only at the 2014 World Cup where people were gassing up Tim Howard for breaking the record. I think he made 12 saves in a match or something like that. So it's impressive nevertheless. But yeah, Ollie Sale, he's got to be the form keeper at the moment. Now that we're saying this out loud, next week, watch him go and concede 6 again. It's really funny actually, because I was thinking about that the other day. I made a video a couple of weeks back where I was saying that, Wellington had only lost 1 game in 10, and then the next 2 games they went and got banged up 6-0 by City, banged up 5-0 by the Mariners, and then complete turnaround, as you say, 4-1 over Western United. And like Borce was saying, to see Western just kind of concede that first goal and then capitulate like we've never seen this season before, credit to the Knicks. Fair play.
Yeah. Look, if you went back a couple of maybe a month ago, right, you would have said Wellington Phoenix, Ufuk Talay, what he's done and the run that they're going to go on, and the run that they've been on, they would cement themselves in the 6, with the games in hand. It got shaky for a bit, but, really good to come back from copying 11 goals and then putting in a display like that. And with you said about Ollie Sale, the 11 saves he made in that match, and the 35 shots, it would be exhausting to face 35 shots, regardless of whether they're on target or not. You've got to be on your game. So, credit to him. Probably unjust that we left him out of the conversation last week, but he put in a really good display. And again, credit to Josh Sotirio, has to go out, bagging a double over the weekend. I don't know where this version of Joshua Sotirio was for Western Sydney Wanderers for the first, I don't know how many seasons, 6 seasons he was with us. We obviously used to come off the bench, but he did a good job and they wrapped up the points.
Yeah, it was just before we go on, Kev, it was the whole Jamie Young thing just killed me because we almost got him a move to LA Galaxy for a second.
It might be on the cards.
It still might be on the cards. We might have to hide that result.
Not anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, well, yeah, after that. Well, look, I wouldn't necessarily blame him for the goals, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm just going to quickly look up who LA Galaxy's goalkeeper is at the moment. We'll see, we'll see if we can get him a move.
See if we can get him a move. Because it was hilarious.
Jamie Young's seen the video as well.
He's seen the video. We gassed him up a bit, but I think after copying, was it 4-1? Final score?
Yeah, 4-1.
After copying 4, I don't think he was interested. But the scene, we're left on scene for now. We'll see. We'll see if he replies next week.
I'm curious. I just found one of the goalkeepers for LA Galaxy, Jonathan Klinsmann. I wonder if he's related
to Jurgen.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find some information. It doesn't look like it anyway. There's no immediate link, but okay, he can keep his job for a little bit. That's fine.
Longer, yeah.
A little bit longer, but boys, we'll move on to the Friday night match, which was Adelaide United versus Macarthur. This one, in my opinion, MacArthur were a little bit unlucky not to get one early. They probably started the better of the two teams. But then Adelaide United, they've been missing Hero for a while, and now he's come back. And you know what? It was a classy header. It was, the ball's come across. He's got the ball, or he's headed the ball back across from when the keeper's coming, makes it a little bit difficult. It was a nice dink. I think classy finish for a player like that, and they hang on to get the win. I don't really think MacArthur got to create much in the second half.
Yeah, Fox in the box striker, isn't he? I think he scored 5 goals, all 5 coming inside the box. I think even 2 or 3 have come inside the 6-yard box. So he's like the definition of a poacher. Kind of what we said at the start of the season. I think we thought Adelaide were missing that number 9 to lead them forward. Obviously, they started the season with like Cassini, Yengi, and then they've obviously got the young talent there, Mohamed Toure, Yaya Dakuli, and George Blackwood, obviously, but not a established number 9. And I think he's kind of come in and brought a little bit of like strength into that squad, and they're a better team with him in the starting 11, in my opinion.
Yeah, what's happened to Yengi? Does anyone know? This is where we could have had Robby on the show. He might have told us a little bit about him, because I thought they weren't getting results, but I still thought of him as a pretty decent striker, especially for his age. So that's an interesting one. But Adelaide at home, Borce, you sort of expect them to get the points maybe in this one, because again, MacArthur. I think we said it when we did the predictions. They went up one week, down the next, and I think this was their down, obviously away from home. Yeah,
I didn't get to catch this one, and I think we better be careful what we say about MacArthur, because we might get in trouble. But in saying that, in terms of what it means for the ladder, big 3 points for Adelaide. I mean, I think they've gone a little bit under the radar pretty much the whole season, where no one's really paying attention to them, but they're still thereabouts when it comes to the ladder. And by the looks of the stats, it looked like it was a good performance as well. And I think last week it was against Melbourne Victory. They went down 1-0, but you never know. You never know. Going to Adelaide, it's another tricky fixture there as well. So getting the 3 points for them, I think going into the next last 5-6 games, depending on the catch-ups, they'll be looking like favourites maybe to stay in that maybe 4 or 5. Where are they now? Are they 5th in the table?
Yeah, they're currently 5th, with a game in hand on Sydney, and they're tied on points. So
yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, Adelaide have probably been they probably haven't been consistent, but the one thing that you do say about Adelaide is they fight till the death anyway. They're just known for those late goals. So, getting the result against MacArthur is probably not a surprise, but I don't think both teams played that well. Like overall, like if you put them against the other sides that are above them, they probably haven't shown their strength yet. But nonetheless, you're right, Borge. 3 points to keep them up in that top 5, top 6 for the moment. It's going to be crucial for them, because Wellington still have those games in hand, and they're sitting right behind them.
And I think Wellington isn't their next fixture in Wellington. Aren't they back home?
I know they are shortly. I just don't know if it's the next one or the one after.
Well, imagine the run-in for them. How you expect full house or majority full house?
There's one of the games at Eden Park against the Wanderers. I reckon they're gonna pack the place out.
Yeah. So being home after 2 years of playing away, you never know that run-in. I know we're looking at how they've been going recently. But that could help them. That could push them into the 6.
Yeah, so you're right. So this week they're away to you guys. so
3 points there. Distance derby.
Yeah. It's a midweek game, so Wednesday. And then, on the weekend, on 17th, they're at home to Central Coast at Sky Stadium. So, And that's another big one, right?
Yeah, I think that only just got announced, maybe even this afternoon. I saw the A-League post about it. Yep. Yeah, because it was supposed to be weeks, but then they said weeks to days or something. But it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
Yeah. It'll be good to see.
Oh man, it'll be exciting for everybody in New Zealand, right? Like to have them back. If anyone watches from New Zealand, you got to get out to this game, right? You got to get out. Back Wellington, they've been playing, other than the last two of the last three results, they've actually been one of those teams under Ufuk who's been doing really well. They've been doing better than Central Coast, but also Central Coast, under Nick Montgomery have been doing well. The last result doesn't say that, but prior to that, they've been one of the informed teams over the last 6 matches. So if you're out there, if you're in New Zealand, get out to this game. It's going to be a cracker. Yeah. It's on Sunday.
And if they don't turn up, they can always come back to Wollongong. We'll change their kit, change the name, and we'll introduce a new club into the A-League.
A new club, yeah.
A new club out that way, yeah.
So we've got to kick one club out and bring one in, Borce.
Well, it's just the name change.
Comment?
Just the name change.
Don't say it.
Just the name change.
Don't say it.
Don't say it. So moving on to the Saturday games. I don't know if you want to skip over this one, Joss, but it's Western Sydney Wanderers, Brisbane Roar. If you want to talk about goalkeepers that are, if you want to just talk about goalkeepers in general, this is the second time against Brisbane that we've actually had a goalkeeper mistake that led to them equalising in a match against us. The first one being Vedran Indjevic a couple of seasons ago. It was the equaliser.
Was it equaliser? Oh, I thought that was a winner.
Equaliser 2-all. No, if it was the winner, don't worry, we would have said some worse things. And then Daniel Margush, seriously, I don't know why you don't. One, either let that ball run out or kick it out yourself. Or two, just beat the shit out of that ball over into the opposite corner, but decides that he wants to try and nutmeg the player that's coming from that same direction and then put on a better tackle than the West Tigers and the Bulldogs have been this, over recent weeks, and then give away a penalty. Just how frustrating is it?
Oh, mate, so incredibly frustrating. I think when I was watching it, I thought, Daniel Margush thinks he's on the beach in Rio. He's got the Jogger Bonito music playing. That's what it looked like watching him dilly-dally around with this ball, man. It was so frustrating. And then, and it's annoying for me. I took it personally because I've been a big advocate for Daniel Margush this season, since he's come into Mejias. I don't think Mejias was anything special.
There's not much between them, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of fans were pretty harsh against Daniel Margush, right? And I can't really say he's put a foot wrong this season other than maybe the Apia game where, you get lobbed from 45 yards.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't be getting caught out like that. And then this, it's getting really hard to defend the bloke. But yeah, surely Mejias comes back in for the rest of the season now. That's almost inexcusable.
Well, he obviously, Daniel Margush misses out this weekend because of the red card. And then really, do you get your spot back? And I guess the measure of Margush, because he played a majority of last season, actually played pretty much the whole season last season. Yeah. But when you think about some of the goalkeepers Western Sydney Wanderers have had, more recently Daniel Lopa, but before that, the original Ante Kovic, and you look and you're it's pretty high standards. But you're right, Margush has not failed this season, and I don't think he even failed last season. Last season was just the whole team wasn't right. But yeah, he loses his spot now, and I don't know. What does that do, Borge? What do you think that does to the to him as an individual? Because if you think about, I know we've discussed in previous times, about mentally, players, how they think or what happens to them and stuff. Once he's finally earned the number one spot, and now he's going to lose it.
To be honest, I don't think he's going to lose it. I think it's just one of them things. It's a bit of a brain snap. I mean, we almost seen that happen this morning with Manchester City and Liverpool. Edison as well on the goal line. We're seeing keepers make these type of mistakes. Is it something that's gonna keep him out of the squad? Maybe, I don't know. It depends how if the other keeper comes in and is it 3 games or is it just 2? Whatever it might be, 3 or 2 games.
I think it might be 2 games, yeah.
Unless he has a blinder. And then he keeps him, and then they keep him on. Rudin keeps him on. I don't really see Margush being thrown out the team just for that mistake. If that was, I mean, that's probably the top 6 hopes gone. If there was, if there was a chance for the Wanderers to make it, that's probably gone now. But we've seen, but we've seen this week in the A-League that anything is possible. Wanderers might go out the next game, and then they might, you never know, they might win next 3 games on the trot, and then you're talking about a couple points or maybe level on points with the teams in the 6 or who's around that area. So I don't think the keeper's going to be left out. I think he comes straight back in, unless what was his other name? What was the other keeper's name?
Yes.
Yeah, unless he has a blinder and is pretty much perfect, then I don't see him being kept out. But it was, for 90-something minute for that to happen. I mean, it's the points are wrapped up, and it wasn't like, I mean, the Wanderers, they played okay, but it was one of their games just like, I guarantee you the whole team was asking how long left. Like Sunday League, just how long left?
Oh, yeah.
What's the time? Because we just want to get this game over and done.
But Borce, poor game management.
By Rudin? By Root?
I just think by the players who were left out there for the last 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Against 10 men as well. Like we had the advantage. West Sydney Wanderers had the advantage over them. How do you not manage that game out for the last 15 minutes? I couldn't care less how tired you were. And to be honest, Brisbane weren't showing heaps. They were not showing, other than, but then you see, Kev, pressed, I think, kind of well.
But you see, like last week, like Brisbane, they get a result when you don't expect them to. But really, like their true colours are, you're not that good, or they're not that experienced with the young players in the squad to consistently get these results. And with the Wanderers, right, I just wonder, like, when are players like, your Beanies, the Petrados, and all these players that come in this season, we're here, Western Sydney, the whole Western Sydney thing, we're born and bred, the boys from the area, born and bred. Like, when are they going to put a consistent, like, 2 games on the bounce, like, run? Just give you guys 2 games. Like, we haven't even seen that. Petrados, I mean, compared to what he was doing at Newcastle, I haven't seen any of that at the Wanderers. But if they can start putting in, if they can just click for these last couple of games, regardless who the keeper is, I mean, I see goals in the Wanderers team, but I don't know, bro. I don't know what's the missing link there, because there's always a brain snap, there's always a red card, there's always something that happens with you guys that they just don't get the result. And we've seen it so many times this season. Even last season, it's like it's a replay. Just play the interviews from last year, like, pretty much.
Well, I was going to say about interviews, like, just to touch on it, I listened to Mark Rudin's one today, just in regards to, obviously, the loss of points, not the loss, but the loss of points on the weekend, and does the team have anything to play for? And he straight out went out to players, and he said, well, a lot of them are playing for contracts, because there's a lot of them that are coming off contract, and in a way that sort of gives you a little bit of hope that players are going to come in and play well, because I would imagine that one of them would be Jack Rodwell, because he only signed on for a year originally, and I don't remember them confirming the extension that they were going to give him because he got injured. So, Mark Rudin's putting on the pressure there. I don't know, your thoughts?
But in my opinion, I think Jack Rodwell, every time he's played, he's been one of our best players.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Like when Borce talks about this whole Western Sydney, like boys from the area thing, like that is actually the most frustrating thing about being a Wanderers fan every single year, because they sell you the same story every time, and it's just toothless. Like I like Bernie Abini and I like Dimi Petrados, but how many performances are they going to have where they are so below average and show absolutely nothing towards this team? Like I'm so conflicted about Bernie Abini because I love him, but that game on the weekend, I just watched him trounce around for 80 minutes. Like, what are you doing, man? Even the goal, like, if you watch that any other league in the world, in the Prem, the Serie A, Bundesliga, that striker is getting up, running off, claiming that goal. He just gets up and just, like, I don't know. It just looked like he didn't really care.
Do you guys think sorry to cut you off. Do you guys think they should be dropped into the the reserves or the 20 or the first grade squads or the 21s or whatever? Because if they're not putting in a shift here, I don't know, is that possible, or is it too much of a risk for Rudin and the Wanderers at the moment to drop these players into the reserves? Because you see it all over the world.
It's done now.
Well, if it's done now, should they be starting in the next game?
Well, we got I can't remember if it was you, Josh, that touched on a couple of weeks ago. But we've got other players on the bench. Youth is a Swivel, is a striker,
Swivel.
and yeah.
He's been killing it in the NPL, and he hasn't got a sniff all season. Every time Jared Carluccio's come on the pitch, I've been really impressed. Alex Lapane, every time he's come on, he's been really good. Haven't really seen much of Battalato for a while, but you know, these players, they look like, because they're young, they've got that vigor in them, they want to play. And, you know, we talk about like the season, is it gone? Yeah, it's a really unpredictable season, but I'm probably being stupid and naive. I'm hanging on to the fact that we're 10 points behind Sydney FC with 3 games in hand. But as you say, you know, watch us. We might go on Wednesday night at Combank, beat Mariners, but then on the weekend we'll shit the bed.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like that, and Borce touched on it. Can't get 2 wins back to back, which is really frustrating. I will say that there was a point in the game where I thought we were kind of unlucky, and I don't know how the system works in the A-League, but there was a moment just before half-time where we had a flick on header, and in my opinion, it was a lot closer than people think that it crossed the line when the keeper pushed it back in, but I don't know whether or not in the A-League, I don't think they've got the goal line technology. But at the same time, I don't know how much the VAR got involved, because it was really like one of those things that they brushed over. And I was like, the keeper was pretty far back. I know obviously he extends his arms, but I don't know. People didn't make as much of it as I thought. I just thought we're kind of unlucky, because 2-0 changes the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no replays of that either.
Yeah, they were hiding it.
And it's literally deja vu. We said this at the start of the season. We actually had this exact conversation about a goal line technology. Why don't you just set one camera up on the goal line like they do in the Prem? So that way, if you don't have your goal line,
Ben Foster has his own GoPro in the goal.
Exactly.
He has his own GoPro. You know what I mean?
All it has to be is one camera on the goal line. It sorts out so many issues.
They're looking for that sponsor, though. They're looking for that camera sponsor. You know, was it Ring?
The Football Capital sponsor.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Football Capital goal line tech.
Goal line tech.
Yeah, but what we're gonna do the post and pre-match entertainment. So it's all good. Let's congratulations to Brisbane picking up a point. They celebrated it like it was probably something that they were very, very lucky to get. Keeps them above the Wanderers just on goal difference, and still keeps them in the race, right? So, again, there's a whole bunch of teams on 20 games that are chasing probably 6th spot, not so much 5th. But let's move on, mate. Form reverse for Central Coast Mariners. 5-0 defeat to Sydney FC. I cannot believe Sydney FC scored like 3 goals in like 4 or 5 minutes to just turn the game on its head. And I can't remember the strike. I ended up watching a replay. But after they went down 1-0 Central Coast, they had this one strike that hit the crossbar. And I thought, oh, man. Yes, that's right. Mate, unlucky. It's that pink jersey you got behind your Borce. They were playing in the pink, so I don't know if that's something that caused a little bit of havoc for them. But, it's hard for me to fathom that Sydney FC won 5-0. 5-0 is a big result. I know the big guns turned it up, obviously. Lafondra with a hat-trick. Even Bobo came on and scored a header at the end. I never saw this being a 5-0 result.
I don't think anyone did.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I'm more surprised at Mariners losing 5-0 than I am Sydney winning 5-0. Especially like the form that they've been in, you wouldn't expect that at all. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, 5-0 at home. I mean, like I said at the start, maybe they should have got it cancelled and kept the 5 goals intact, them goal difference. But because you see that pitch, was it Friday morning? Was it Friday morning?
Yeah, it was a swimming pool before, right?
Yes, it was a swimming pool. It looked like a couple hours later they swept it up. The next morning it's all gone, ready to go. But I'm pretty sure they would have got postponed if there wasn't the new rules about the fixtures. But to be honest, I didn't expect it as well. And we saw Lafondra do his old man celebration because, you know, a lot of the Sydney FC supporters are giving him stick about the age of the squad. And I think we touched on this at the start of the season, Kev, with the preview with Borce as well, that this team is aging now and can they still keep to the levels? They've had an up and down season, but in this game, yeah, man, they just took their chances. And Mariners, they just don't know what happened after a great 2 weeks that they've had bouncing back. I mean, I don't know where it went wrong for him. Maybe that's why Lockie's not here this week, huh?
It was a bit resigned to the defeat. But like you look at it, I did see I did watch this match, the replay of the match. Some of the movement Lafondra was making, there was one particular goal. He zigzagged his way into that box, and he just lost his defender. And obviously that comes with experience, but you got to ask, where's this been from Sydney FC all season? They're not at the start of the season. We're going to touch on Wanderers again, but we tipped the 2 Sydney teams and the 2 Melbourne teams, Victory and City, to be up in the 4. And they haven't shown this form all season, but they've got the likes of Barbarouses, Lafondra, Bobo, Bahaja. You know, I know, yes, it's an aging squad because even Ryan Grant became the most capped Sydney FC player last weekend, but still you'd think they'd be a lot higher than where they are on the ladder. And I don't know, are they making a move? Are they finally gelling after 20 weeks or 22 weeks to make a run to the finals?
I don't know. I think they will make the finals, but I don't think they can go all the way, bro. I just look at some of the other teams around at the moment and their form. I just don't see Sydney FC making it to the final. I think maybe the first game they played, out.
Well, they always seem to, you know, I feel like Sydney FC they're always good for a clutch up victory. But I think it's more just a case of like Steve Corica being a little bit one-dimensional. I think he's getting found out with the squad and the system that Arnie left him. And I don't know, like this is just a question, I don't really know whether he has a plan B, if that makes sense. But it just so happens to be his plan A is often so good that they don't need that plan B. But maybe this season with that aging squad, you know, they've got the quality. We know this, like as you said, Kev, like some of Lafondra's movement and his goals on the weekend, he's a baller. He is such a player.
Yeah.
He's just got that experience, and it's bloody crazy. But I never expected it to happen. Of course, even Central Coast, the most informed team in the comp over the last 5 rounds. But I'm sure they'll bounce back. A couple of tough games. They got Wellington, so we'll see how that goes. But boys, there was a Melbourne derby on the weekend, and the Kiwi Messi stepped up. I've got to say, you know, it was entertaining to watch because Melbourne, I can't say Melbourne, Victory just kept piling on the pressure and they just didn't relent, man. And even Rojas, I can't remember if it was the first one, the long range one. The first one was a long range one, right? His first
volley, I think.
The volley, that volley. I'm sorry, but Tom Glover, the goalkeeper, should not be punching that ball. Like I watched it over and over and over again. There was nobody around. Not that there was nobody around him, but he had so much space to just take that on the chest. I don't understand why the punch. And then obviously Rojas takes his chance and puts it in the back of the net. But Melbourne Victory all over him in this one.
Yeah, I think I saw a tweet saying Tom Glover, future Socceroo to future NPL All-Star. It's certainly going that way. And we've been, Lockie and I have been big advocates for this guy, like taking over Matt Ryan. But this season, as I said, football capital, Sunday Ballers curse, whatever you want to call it. He has been terrible. He has been terrible. There's no two ways about it.
But to be fair, three Melbourne derbies, and I think they all delivered. Watching as a neutral, I mean, you don't really see, even in world football in general, like the like when it comes to Liverpool, Man United, or Barcelona, Madrid, sometimes they get gassed up, and then the game is just like a dead rubber, or there's a winner, but it's a boring match. 3 games this season, all delivered. I mean, I thought my prediction was another draw, 3 draws this season, but I was shocked. Kev, you're right, man. Off the kickoff, Melbourne victory. The way they, like, I'm surprised it wasn't 5-0 by half time. The way they were going, there was another chance. Where I can't remember who it was. He had Rojas open on the right hand side, and he played it back into the who took. I can't remember who took that shot. I can't remember.
I think Lamy laid it off to someone.
Yeah,
D'Agostino maybe.
D'Agostino, and he's put it wide. And he's put it wide. He could have slipped in. Rojas got another goal, and it would have been fucking like.
That's right. He went left instead of going right. Yeah. But it was close. Yeah,
it was close. But yeah, another Melbourne derby, and it delivered, man. Like, good on to him. And the crowd again, you got to give it to the Melbourne crowd getting out there every week once again on the big occasions. And yeah, man, it was another great entertainment game. There's not much more you can say besides that. As a neutral, like, you definitely want to watch replays of that one or 3 of their games this season.
Yeah, 100%. And look, credit to everybody that was at the Melbourne game too, because it was a big weekend in Melbourne with the Formula One. There was 128,000 people there on the Saturday and on the Sunday. So to get people to get a full day of F1 and then head out to the game, credit. Like, they're doing everything right, and all the Melbourne teams are marketing it well. They're pushing. Obviously, they're performing well, so it helps. But credit to them, they all got out there and they supported and they watched the game, and whoever was a Victory fan on the night cheering, right? So a big result there. Again, the only thing I'm going to touch on, Melbourne City, a chance to try and extend that gap at the top, but they've missed it. Yeah. But now Melbourne, picking up some points. So we'll see how that comes about. We'll go to the last match. Do you want us to, Borce, or do you want us?
Yeah, why not? Because
why not?
13 minutes in, Kev. 13 minutes in, we should have got a red card. Somehow
stays on.
Stays. Hey, do you remember what I told you, Kev? I told you when Richard Garcia got sacked and Zadkovic came in. Okay, Kev, the first thing you're going to see is red cards. The first game, we got a player sent off, and now we're seeing Ruben Zadkovic tackles. Do you know what I mean? It was youth player's debut, 13 minutes in on his Perth Glory debut, and he pulls that off.
Lucky to be on the pitch.
I can't believe it. How has he stayed on? The ref has gone to look at it. And you know what? Give credit to the ref. He backed himself, He was right there.
Yeah, yes.
Because once he goes, I'm watching, I'm like, he's gone to VAR. He's gone to check it. It's a red. Usually when they get sent, it's usually
very rarely they ever.
But he's gone. He's backed himself, and he's like, "No, it's my show. Stay with the yellow." But unbelievable. Not like that helped. Not like that.
He probably knew what was coming, and he wanted to get off the pitch early. The young fella. So
yeah, and maybe the referee was trying to leave it to 6 instead of maybe double digits. So the referee helped us out there. You could say that, but yeah, in terms of the game, usually, like I said last week, we go to Newcastle and we get a result. This week, this season, I don't know what's happened, but again, there's like how many kids making a debut from the NPL team, and what more can you do? To be honest, it's a shame because that could maybe play. I wouldn't say ruin their careers, because there's gonna be a lot more games where they get slapped up or they get these type of. We're just saying this week in the A-League itself, but to throw kids in the deep end like that, and then to get that result, it probably will stick with them for a while. But it is what it is. I mean, we want the youth to come up. We always complain about 45-year-old marquees coming in instead of getting the kids a chance. Well, this is the chance now for the kids. We've got so many injuries or players out for whatever reason. Marquees just on paper, Marquees at Perth Glory, and but otherwise, look, disappointing result. But what can you do, man? Newcastle has been okay this season. They've put in some great performances this season, but at the same time, they've had games one week. Like, I won't be surprised if Newcastle this week get touched up, because that's the way the season is going. But
it's just but no surprise, Borce, obviously with Perth. Like, and look, again, no surprise, but at the same time, taking the opportunity, play some younger players. I mean, we were just talking about it with the Wanderers, whether or not they should be doing that. So it's almost like
I think it's a bit different. Wanderers, it could be a choice to play these players because they're not performing. Whether at Perth,
Correct.
it's players are absent for whatever reason, illness, injuries,
unavailable,
holiday fucking camps. So who knows?
Yeah, it's holiday camps, fun. Joss, anything on this one with Newcastle? They were just ruthless.
Yeah, I mean, just to quickly touch on the Perth thing, I think I agree with Borce. The kids will learn. This is football, right? I think what the commentator said during the game, I think Perth have used the most amount of players, or the second most amount of players in a single season. I think it was like 34 squad players. I think only Wanderers have used more. And yeah, like I credit to them. Like that Osler and Collie, I think they're really bright talents. I think going forward, you can see Perth utilise them. Maybe get rid of Keogh. Maybe get rid of Sturridge. Have faith in the young boys. But yeah, to Newcastle, man, beautiful football. We said it all season. It's a real shame that they haven't been able to sort out their defensive issues, because I think they play the most exciting brand of football I've seen since that Ange Brisbane Roar team. I love watching Newcastle play, and that Pena and Mikkel Tadze link up. It's just insane. I think Daniel Pena is probably one of the best players in the league. Top 3.
Yeah, man. Look, he's done a lot for Newcastle, and I guess you know what? Sometimes teams, even when they're playing different opposition like Perth, when they're expected to win, they might pick up a 2-0 or a 3-0 or 3-1, but they put them to the sword, with respect, obviously against who they're playing. But they went at them. They got the result. They did it convincingly, and you could tell Perth, had some defensive struggles as well, which pretty much meant, because there was a couple of times where they cleared the ball and the ball that got sent straight back in landed at the feet of the striker, and nobody marking, nobody with him. So yeah, a bit of a tough one there. So, but nonetheless, you can only play against who you're facing on the day, and they got the results. So yeah, we'll wrap it up there for the Newcastle game. Let's go into some predictions. I know Borge has left us. I think he's prepping for the EPL wrap-up after this. But just we'll get into some of the predictions as we normally do. Couple of midweek games. There's actually a couple of games tomorrow, which is Tuesday, which is probably the time this video will go out. And here he is. We're just going to jump into predictions, Borge. Sydney FC and Adelaide United on Tuesday. Joss?
I'm going to back Sydney in. Is this in Sydney?
It's in Sydney.
Yeah, I'm going to back Sydney in. Big confidence booster needed for I think they kick off their Asian Champions League campaign on Saturday. So I think they need to win this game.
Borge?
I'm going to get a draw. Maybe 1-1 or 2-2. I can see a draw. Yeah,
I think I'm going to go draw, because with the squad, there's going to have to be some sort of rotation, and an older squad too. So I'm hoping for a draw. Tuesday night as well, Melbourne victory, Brisbane Roar. Joss?
Yeah, I think victory comfortable.
Yeah.
Comfortable.
Yeah. Victory easy there as well. Borch agrees. Yeah. Wednesday night, Western Sydney Wanderers versus Central Coast Mariners. Western Sydney somehow the favourites. I don't know how, but Joss?
Stinker. Yeah, look, might sound like a bad fan here, but I think Mariners come and do us. I'm not giving score predictions, by the way, because there's just literally no point.
Borch?
I'll back the Wanderers. I'll back the Wanderers. I think they'll get the job done. The keeper's going to save the day.
One each, right?
The keeper's going to save the day. New keeper, different result. Let's go.
2-2 draw. Borch's Perth Glory meet Wellington Phoenix.
Surely.
Is it going to be under 3-0? Borch?
I don't know, bro. We might have to call the under-16s for this round. Got to see what they're up to.
They might be available.
Nah, look. Maybe.
And
do you know what?
Sport, and favourites.
Do you know what, though? In this fixture, it's always the away team that wins. So unfortunately, it's another loss for us. But I'm just hoping we score at home. I'm just hoping the boys score at home, at least a couple of goals. So I'll go for a 4-2 for Wellington.
All right.
For Wellington, yeah.
Jots?
I think Wellington too strong. They got a kick in their step from the news that they're going home. I reckon they'll come through.
Yeah, I think so too. Wellington there. Let's kick on to the weekend's fixtures. So Friday night sees Macarthur FC versus Brisbane.
Brisbane 3. Nah, I'm kidding. Macarthur.
They get in trouble.
Macarthur for a dub. Gino.
I'm going Northbridge as well. I mean, Macarthur. Yeah, I'm going Macarthur with this one.
Yeah, Northbridge for sure, bro. Northbridge Bulls.
For sure.
Yeah, Northbridge Bulls. We're there for that.
Saturday night, there's two. So Western United versus Perth Glory. Gee, mate, you're getting in a few games here, Borce. I'm going Western United.
Yeah, comfortable.
We might have I don't know.
You're the away team.
The away team. It's always a big. There's always goals in this one. Remember last time it was a 5-4. Let's go for another 5-4 for Perth
They're
this
playing
time.
at the University of Tasmania Stadium.
University of Tasmania. Is that the new team coming in?
Yeah, it must be. Yeah.
So they're getting rid of one of them. So Western United is going to stay there, change the name to Tasmania, and
and then the other team that we all know of is going to go to Wollongong.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Might as well. It's only down the road. Western United, I think they're going to bounce back. They need to bounce back if they're to keep in touching distance with City.
Yeah, sweet. Newcastle victory, probably one of the closer matchups of the weekend. Joss?
It's a tough take. I think draw. I reckon Newcastle are going to start to pull their act together come the end of the season.
Yeah, I'll go for a draw as well.
Draw as well. I'm going to take. I don't know. I think Victory might need to go on a run. So
are they playing Champions? When's the Champions League?
Victory's out of the Champions League.
Oh, they're out.
They didn't qualify.
That's right.
Yeah. And the last one to wrap up on Sunday is Wellington Phoenix finally at home at Sky Stadium against Central Coast Mariners.
Poor Mariners.
Joss?
Welly.
Yeah.
I think Nick's come through.
Yeah. Back them as well. I'll go Wellington.
Yeah. Look, if Coast Watch Football Lockie was on the show, I'd probably give him at least a draw. But I think Wellington is Wellington's going to be too strong at home. Hopefully that crowd gets out there. Big one for them, boys.
I think Lockie's even the football romantic. I reckon he might back Wellington in this one.
He is. He does seem like that. He knows when the writing's on the wall sometimes. So good on him, and he's doing some amazing things at Coast Watch Football. 100%. But boys, we're going to wrap it up there. It's been a good show. Obviously Borce from the football capital, and Joss, I'm going to let you rep your channels and your socials.
Yes, Sunday Ballers everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Run it up. We're got CEOs shaking in their boots, really going after people, and probably not doing myself any good. But yeah, have some fun over there. It's good stuff.
We're gonna bring you guys some exclusives, so just watch this space. But Joss, Borce, thanks for your time, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, and if we don't have a channel anymore, you guys know why. Okay, take it easy.
Subscribe, get it out there.
Could be our last show. Take it easy. See you later.
See you, boys.